Well then, welcome back everyone. We're back once again. I hope the stream is now running correctly. Kevin, first of all,
Yeah.
we set the track where we are at right now is a track with
Yes.
altitudes. To just get back to that discussion, I don't think either that iRacing can be that specific with the altitude, as we do see that we are at the end of practice right now. We're going to go immediately into qualifying. And
Exactly.
so, Kev, what times are we expecting in terms of qualifying? I'm expecting around the 124 high mark. Of course, for the people who don't know how this goes, it's a one-lap qualifying, close qualifying, so everyone on his own, and you have one shot and one shot only to do it.
Exactly. So you really gotta make it count. If we haven't heard it before, we are right now watching Mirko Bortolotti on his outlap, on his out driving there through. So let's go on board. I think with no. Let's go to his nose because he's driving the Audi. Camera's acting up a bit. So we can see this is the section I was talking about before. You come down here into this dip, you don't really see it. It's a lot of blind corners here in this section, and you really gotta nail this hairpin, which is really difficult because again you're coming up there with a lot of speed. Right now Mirko, of course, is not driving as fast as he could because of course it's still his outlap. But you're driving there very fast, and you need to get the braking exactly right, and trail brake. This is like the most important part for that corner, and so it's very difficult to get right. Then we can see Mirko warming up his tires. So I'm actually not sure what times, to get back to your question then. I'm not sure what times we can expect here. The last time I've driven here was, I think, in a GTE car. So, and those TCRs are a bit slower than that, but you know, let's see what our drivers can do here.
Yeah, it's I've just had to ping everyone in the stream, or
Yes.
chat, because there was a new stream up, and no one knows that, of course. But yeah, for the people who don't know, this is the W12 series. If you just joined, it's a series run by the man we're looking at right now. We've just drawn. That's how it works. We draw a track, and we draw a car half an hour before the race starts. So the drivers have half an hour of practice to get used to the car and the track. That's so no one can practice, so everyone has a level playing field. And I think that's a beautiful initiative by the man who we see out on track, Mirko Bortolotti, right now. As well, I think, as just the fact that, well, no one knows what track we go to. We have two servers, so we have a GT3 and a GT4, or GT4 server in race in server 2. So it's either of those two cars. In server 1, it can be the V8 Supercar, the TCR, or the Porsche Cup cars. And we have, like Kevin said in the last stream, we have two heat races, so the group will be split up in two. First, we have the first half of the grid, and then we have the second half, who will go out, and then we have a combined feature race where the points will be awarded for the whole field. So that's how this works in short. We're gonna get into it a bit more once we get to.
And
go on.
yeah, we've got the first times now. Qualifying, the top drivers are through, and we can see Thomas Pieper actually beat our main man Mirko Bortolotti on track, 126.8 to 126.9, so very close at the top. We see there a bit of a gap to Jonas Vanderden, and then you can see the times now pour in as the drivers start finishing up their qualifying laps. So where were you with your prediction how long the lap was gonna be? I think you weren't too far away, I guess.
Well, I said a 124 low, basing on the fact that Mirko Bortolotti did a 25 low, I think it was in practice. But yeah, we're a long way off that time. Mirko Bortolotti not as fast as we might have thought he would be. But yeah, that's his lap done. And Thomas Pieper had someone in pole position. Martin Stadtmann moves up into P4 with a 127.38. A purple sector time for Hendrik Augustin in the last sector. That moves him up into P3 with a 127.06. Green as well across the board is Christoph. Well, pronouncing that last name is difficult. Christoph Plabigan. I hope I said that correctly. If not, correct me on that in the chat if you want. But it seems like he has had an off track in that lap. So we have...
Yeah, it looks like it, yes.
Kevin, how many drivers do we have this evening with us? Because if I
At the
take
moment,
a quick read, we have about 31 drivers with us this evening.
Yes, you're. I would say exactly right. That's the number I would come to as well. So let's look maybe quickly at the results from qualifying before the first heat starts. So we've got here, as you can see, Thomas Pieper at the top, 1:26.868, followed by Mirko Bortolotti, Hendrik Augustin, and P3, Jonas van der Stadtman. Yeah, I'm not gonna list them all. It's so many drivers. So
we can. Jonas Warner P4, Matt Stadtman P5. Jan, say that name for me, please. Jan Springop.
Jan Springop, yeah.
Good.
That's
improving my German. Ben Hitz in P6 for Robert Hegger. Can we not get the grid up for this race?
Well, let's see if the grid is happy with the heat races. Yeah, it is. Okay, that works as well.
Thomas Peeble,
so that's the heat.
Ahead of
yes,
Augustine. Martin Stadtman in P3. Sorry to cut you off there, Kevin.
No. Go ahead.
Fifth for Marcus Rima, sixth Stefano Pellegrino, seventh Christoph Fabian. Hugo Iksen or Hugo Rob in P8 because he has changed his last name. Thomas Lightcap in, hope I said that correctly, in P9. Jan Lins in P10. Tyler, help me out with that name. Klaus? Okay. Tyler Klaus in P11. 12 for Bjorn Ritter. 13 Julian Rambout. 14 Benjamin Moser. Chris Meyer in P15. Matthias Sara in P16. And I think that's the grid.
That's the grid.
For the
first race.
Here we go then. The lights coming up on your screen. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights on your screen. It's green and we're green.
What
for
the hell?
First heat right here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. It's Thomas Pieper from the pole position. And a very good start from, I think the man we're looking at right now is Christoph. He's going to try and carry that car around the outside. We're looking at the number 31 on track. He's at the moment a P9. I don't know if he can go to the front for Thomas Pieper. For a second, real quick. Here we have him. A flying start for him. Martin Stadtman behind him as well. Up one position. Behind that then is Hendrik Augustin and Stefano Pellegrino in fourth. The gap from Thomas Pieper though, Kevin, already quite big towards Martin Stadtman.
Yeah, he completely just raced away from the start. I mean, look at that. How far he's come already in just half a lap, already half a second. On such a short track, unbelievable how he started away from here.
So guys, ignore at the top left the 15 laps to go. It's the minutes that you see on the top left tower. It's 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go at the moment here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. As we know, a short race here in Heat Race 1. So the drivers will be looking to try and make those moves early on and quite quickly. Kevin?
Yes. I'm sorry.
I thought you were gone for a second.
No. I've got a message from further up in the hierarchy, in the W12 hierarchy, so I just quickly had to write a quick answer there. All right, so we can see Thomas Pieper really opening up that gap there, up to Stadtman and Augustin, and those two again opening up a gap down there to Stefano Pellegrino.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the time at the top left is not correct. I don't know why that is, but we're 2 minutes already into the 6 minute race. A little bit of a touch there between Stefano Pellegrino and Ben Hitz, now ahead of him in the 25. The thing is, in these TCRs though, you can, well, like I always say, rubbing is racing, so you can touch each other slightly in these TCRs, which I think is great. We're looking still at Hugo Akers, and he's going to try and go around the outside of Stefano Pellegrino. in the number 25. Excuse me, Stefano Pellegrino in the number 05, if I'm correct. Then we have Marcus Riemer in the 815 behind him. And I don't think, to be honest, Kevin, that the move is on here. No, not at all. The 815 of Marcus Riemer trying to find a way past the Honda of Hugo Ekersen. Oh, he's going to try down the inside. Hugo Ekersen off. He gets touched. And that is him off into the grass. Can he keep it out of the tire barrier? No, he can't. Hugo Ekersen closed that gap down, squeezed him to the inside of the track. And that was just a little bit too much of squeezing, I think, there from Hugo Ekersen. And eventually, I think Marcus Riemer had enough of that. Or Stefano Pellegrino had enough of that. And Marcus Riemer touched on the inside. Now we're looking at the number 99. That is Hendrik Augustin hunting down Thomas Pieper at the front of the field. Hendrik Augustin, though, not too far behind this. Only 3 seconds that gap is. Behind that, though, we have a big battle between Ben Hitz and Martin Stadtmann in P3 and P4. Don't take a look at the left-hand side. I don't know what is happening. That might be SDK playing up a little bit. But yeah, it's... I think it's lagging behind a little bit. But that gap there is 3/10. I don't know if you can go to the battle between Ben Hitz and Martin Stadtmann a little bit further back. Here we have it. Martin Stadtmann tries to hunt down Ben Hitz. The gap there is 4/10 at the moment. So the GazX driver with the number 105 on his car is Martin Stadtmann. 25 is Ben Hitz. Behind that, though, hunting him down is Stefano Pellegrino. I think also in the GazX livery he is. But yeah, Hendrik Augustin ahead of all of them. Ben Hitz in P3. Doing a good job, I think, Kevin, here to keep them behind him.
Yeah, I mean, as we can see, he's got a little bit of a gap. I would say, like the two GazX cars behind, they are a bit closer to each other, but he's doing a great job at the moment to just keep it steady. You know, those heat races, they are very short, so you really got to make it count. And
that could also be an option to try and solve it.
Yeah, try that.
Okay, just tell me when I have control. We're trying to fix on the spot here, guys. These are all new things. I'm not a broadcaster. Okay, great. Don't know if I have control yet. I do. Here we go then. We're going to try and do this for a brief second here. Is there a refresh button here yet? Yes, there is. Reload overlay. Reload textures. Here we go. I hope this is solving it, guys. If not, we're going to have to maybe wait for the next race to come up in a second here. But, well, Kevin, it's the last lap of this race yet here at the moment. And I think hunting down now Ben Hitz is Thomas Pieper. I think Ben Hitz has moved out of position. I don't know what happened to the man who was in second. Did you see?
No, at the moment I didn't see what was going on there. I mean, Stadtmann is in second now, and no, I mean, it couldn't tell you right now what happened there. I was a bit busy with what was going on the technical side at the moment. I'm terribly sorry about that.
We're gonna try and figure this out, guys. Hang with us here. Of course, there's nothing that Kevin can do about this. It's just his internet playing up, and yeah, just hang with us here. We're coming to the end of this race. The leader at this point in time is this man, Thomas Pieper. He has a 5-second lead over Ben Hitz. He's on the last lap of this race. Just about made it through to do another lap. And 17 of you here with us today. Fan says, Iris, disconnect. That's unlucky for you, my friend. Of course, hopefully you can come back for the feature race. This is a battle on the hands, though. Oh, that's a touch there between Tyler Klaus and I think Benjamin Moser. We're going to have to look at this man. Thomas Pieper wins in the heat race ahead of Ben Hitz and Martin Stadtmann behind that. Then we have Stefano Pellegrino in P4. Behind that, a whole bunch of cars of Tyler Klaus. This is the battle for 8th at the moment, but this was the finish, I think. Did we see Barney the flag barrier wave that flag? Yes, we did. Driver spilling off to the right. The last man to gonna come across the line is this man, Christian Meyer. And he at the moment is on the. Let me quickly take a look. Names are difficult here. On the Mario Underneath. How can I forget such a legendary name? Into the right-hander, a long carrying right-hander, then into the left-hander, and then into the last right-hander of the circuit. He's going to come through as well. Well then, if I get the chance to redo this quickly, before the next heat race, I'm going to try and fix this. Give us a second, guys. We're trying to fix it here. I'm going to close this down. Close this one down as well. Give this one. So trying to fix on the spot there. You guys saw the result, I hope. Yeah, trying to fix the result here really, really quickly. Here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
I hope that worked all correctly for you guys. Just give us a second here. We're trying to fix this on the spot. This is all because SDK has well gone to bits once again. I can see if I can do it this way. Here we go.
I'm struggling right now myself, to be honest. I think also because SDKs just keep telling me connection 1, connection 0, connection 1, connection 0. And that's just not, no, that shouldn't be the case. It just can't. That's what I've done before. Now, yeah, now the timing tower from the FR35 is in for me. Now the ticker is back in. Yeah, now you just need to put the other one out, I think, yes. Oh, God's sake. You can try. It's just how it works. You can try it out as much as you like. As soon when you really need it, it's not gonna work anymore. That's just classic. Yeah, it should be fixed then. It's correct. Yeah. Look at that gap. Look at that gap. Mirko just flying away from everybody else. 3 and a third of a second already ahead. Mirko Bortolotti there. And in just 5 minutes, so unbelievable what he's done here right now. Then we've got Patrick Henn in a close fight there for P4. Got also one ahead of him, Clemens Schmidt. So 4 drivers still fighting for that final position on the podium. And as well, not only that, but also, of course, a couple more points. P3 in the second heat gives 7 points, P4 only 5 points. So those are crucial, of course, when thinking about the big picture, when thinking about the championships and whatnot. Look at that, we're coming here through the final sector, very high speed sector, but also very difficult to overtake. Can somebody pull anything off there right now? We're on board with Robert Heger. He's got a good exit there, but the drive to the line isn't long enough, so he has to stay back in P5 there. Mirko Bortolotti at the top. Coming through for another one. I wasn't quite sure if he was fast enough to finish this race off there, but so he's still got another chance. Let's look there again at Robert Heger in the Hyundai. Audi today, a very popular choice. Bortolotti in the Hyundai, Clemens in the Hyundai, Patrick Henn in the Audi. I'm sorry, Clemens in the Audi, Patrick Henn in 4th in the Audi. It's pretty much only a Hyundai and Audi field. We've got 2 Hondas, but they are way down the field. Look at how that RS3 is jumping. Was there a bit of a touch? I'm not quite sure. We've got some flashing there. We've got some flashing there from Robert Heger. But no. I'm not sure. That last sector is extremely fast. And there are no real overtaking opportunities, especially with how far behind he is at the moment. We are back with the leader, almost 5 seconds away from the pack. Mirko Bortolotti crosses the line in first place and wins this second heat. We've got Jan-Philipp Schwenk. Look at that, side by side over the line. 0.0 seconds, it tells me, was the interval between those two guys, Clemens Schmidt and Patrick Henn. It wasn't quite enough for Patrick in the end. Clemens keeps his 3rd position. Unbelievable stuff. There's one of the Hondas I was talking about earlier, Benedikt Hochleitner. He's not in danger of losing his position. Florian Becker behind him is a lap down, so shouldn't be a big problem there for Benedikt keeping his 12th place, but it's still 1 place further up the field in the feature race, which will be coming up very shortly. So any position you can gain here in the heats is not only one where you might get points for, but also one that gets you a bit further up in the starting grid for the feature race, of course. So on here they cross the line. Last 2 drivers on the field to do so. Florian Becker in P13.
Was talking to absolutely no one. Now I am talking. Now the guys can hear me in the live stream. So I didn't realize that, but I was talking to absolutely no one. But now actually people can hear me.
I heard you. I heard you then, so
okay,
it wasn't for nothing.
Well, then we're going to take a look at the result for a second here of both the races before and the race that just finished. Here we go, heat race 1. There we go, Kevin.
Yeah, let's do a little recap. Let's do a little recap there. Thomas Pieper. Yeah, I'm gonna do it very quickly, just the main guys. Thomas Pieper put it on pole in qualifying and won the race straight away. In the first heat. Ben Hitz in P2. Martin Stadtmann lost the position there right at the end. because of our technical troubles, we don't know what happened there either. We're very sorry about that. And yeah, we've got a big field there. 16 drivers already in Heat 1, and the same is also for Heat 2. Let's look at the results from there, because we don't have a lot of time. Maybe just very quickly, yeah, we just saw it right now. Bortolotti won ahead of Springer, Clemens Schmidt. Very close there for P3 in the end. And yeah, if that was anything to go by, this first feature race should be great.
Well, then we now have the grid to go over as well. In first then for this race, it will be Thomas Piba ahead of Mirko Bortolotti, Ben Hitz in P3, P4 for Jan Springer. For fifth for Martin Stadtmann, Clemens Schmidt, P6, Stefano Pellegrino, P7, Patrick Henn in P8 after a good feature, or after a good heat race for him. Tyler Klaus gonna be in P9, Robert Hager in P10, Benjamin Moser in P11, P12 for Sean Terry. The next ones are for you.
Yeah, we've got Christoph Fabigan in P13, Marco Zeiler in P14, Markus Riemer in P15, Florian Stadtmann in P16, Hendrik Augustin is on P17, Lebelt on P18, Ritter, Haas, Rambo, Deutsch, Linz, und there we go, green, green, green.
We're running down to turn one.
Bad start there from Thomas Piba. He's lost already 2 positions. As I can see, Bortolotti just stormed past him. And also, Ben Hitz is gone past Piba. So that was a horrible start there from my Austrian Sim Racers colleague. Going up there into the chopper cam. Look at that. You can already not see Mirko Bortolotti. That was what I wanted to say. Benjamin Moser going past Tyler Klausch there, who is also being overtaken by Marco Zeiler. We're right now here in for the drive for P7, P6 maybe in front of them. They are still very close.
There. That's Bieber. Thomas Bieber is
double
off.
contact there, but everybody is still driving. Everybody's still driving. What happened to Piba? We will have to look at that shortly. What happened there? But that makes the drive for P1 a bit easier. I think Bortolotti has just lost his biggest rival for this race, and we'll be looking at a bit more relaxed drive now. That Piba, the only driver who could really match his time or beat his time actually in qualifying, is now out of the race. So there they're going down through the final corner and over the start finishing straight. Oh, somebody's gone off there, kicking up a bit of dust on the way to turn 1. Again, long sweeping right-hander. Now we're on board with Björn Ritter, also in the fight with Lebelt, who might be
going on for a while now.
Yeah, that looks good. Oh, look at the Audi. It's going a bit wide. I almost thought he would be out on the grass, but he kept it inside. And they are still fighting here. Again, very difficult place, I think, to overtake Canadian Motorsports.
Look at this then, side by side.
Oh,
for Patrick Henn.
Is there a chance
out
on the outside? Again, I think a bit of a contact there. I'm not quite sure. Look at the TCRs. Oh, there he's going a bit
3 wide down.
Wide. Oh, again a bit of contact. Those TCRs, of course, made to withstand a couple of bumps here and there. So that's not a big problem for them. But Chanter has gone down a couple of places thanks to his spin there at the exit of the hairpin, as I'd like to say.
Well, Markus Riemer is trying to defend from Christopher. He's going to try and get him back around the outside. That will give him the inside. He's going to go into the pit lane because he will need to have to pit. Yeah, he will need to pit in this feature race. So that's why a couple of drivers already into the pit lane. A lot of drivers, though, are into the pit lane as well, because they are having some damage on the car. But Mirko Bortolotti once again at the head of the field and creating a gap to Ben Hitz behind him. Those two drivers are really quick, both in the heat races. So I think it's going to be between those two for the victory if nothing crazy happens here in the feature race.
Yeah.
14 minutes and 20 seconds still to go. Clement Schmidt behind that in P3 from GazX as well. Then we have Martin Stadtmann in P4 is hunting him down. And then we have Jan Philipp trying to hunt down Martin Stadtmann. A little bit further back, we have a battle between, like we said, Santer and Björn Ritter as well. So, yeah, a big fight between those two here. And, yeah, this one has been going on for, I think, 2 laps now.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Those guys are still so close. I mean, we were talking about Ritter and Terre, but look how many drivers are there again in front. There might be something happening. Julian Rambeux may be overtaken in a second by Björn Ritter there. Tries it around the outside. We can just see it up ahead. But no, he thinks better of it. Not a good place to overtake those long sweeping corners. And Julian just jumped also into the pits. As you said, everybody has to make a pit stop here. So
I think now they have
a
the
lot of
opportunity.
tactics going on.
Yeah, I think now they have the opportunity to go into the pit lane as early as they want. It's good, I think, to see them jump into the pit lane this early, because you're going to get out of basically all the fighting that's going on. You're going to create yourself a little bit of a gap. And because of that, you're going to be able to run your own pace. And that's sometimes mighty in races, like these.
Of course. I mean, if like with Chanter, who we are looking at right now, if you have made a mistake and lost a couple of positions like that, that might not be such a bad idea to come into the pits early, because then, as you said, you can run your own pace. And from if qualifying and the heat is something to go by, he should be a bit faster than 14th. So if he jumps in now and then just really nails all of his laps, he might be able to take away more than that today from this race.
Not only that, but he's just really consistent at the moment. Had that moment, I think, a little bit earlier on. Down the inside now. Klaus has to defend from Hendrik Augustin. Hits the curb, like you said, on the inside. That well, stopped his momentum a little bit, and that, well, basically got him out of that overtake. But that was a really late move there. Trying to go down the inside. Stefano Pellegrino now trying to overtake the man ahead of him, Marco Zilla, but under real pressure from Patrick Hen, who's going to try and go around the outside of the downhill left-hander. This is never a good corner to overtake on, because you're naturally going to understeer with front-wheel driven cars on the downhill corner. Never good to do so. He backs out of that one, thinks the better of it. A little bit further back, Björn Ritter is off the track. He's in the grass, loses a couple of positions in doing so. Now he might be vulnerable for Jan Lins, is coming up behind him a little bit further up towards Stefano Pellegrino. Still trying to overtake the man behind him, Patrick Hen, or still under pressure from the man behind him, Patrick Hen. A little bit further back though, we have Hendrik Augustin trying to overtake Tyler Klaus as well. He has the inside line now for the right-hander. Wants that inside line almost onto the grass to try and make that move. Can he keep the position is the question, Kevin.
Can he hold it around the outside? I mean, the last sector, now he's on the outside. For the next corner, he will be on the inside. For the last corner, back on the outside. No, he thinks better of it. He doesn't even try. He backs off even before the corner and lets Augustin take that one. Let's see. Anybody? No, everybody stays out at the moment. Going back down to Libelt in a fight with Björn Ritter, who's been off the track, but still going strong here at the moment. Now he's jumping into the pits. And yeah, taking his pit stop. 10 minutes to go, so maybe not a bad time right now. Coming out probably in a lot of clean air. And there should be a couple of chances still to grab some positions
Kevin.
there.
Sorry to cut you off, but that's Tyler Klaus, who tries to go around the outside now of Christoph, and he does manage to make that move stick. But that was a beautiful move down the inside, but down the left-hander.
Now, because now Christoph has got the inside for the upcoming, not chicane, hairpin. Let's see how this one goes. Yeah, you can see on the inside, just goes back past him, but maybe Tyler has the better exit now. Again, just a little back and forth there between the two ASR guys. Love to see that. Let's see, in the slipstream.
Which is important to JP Broadcasting asks, why is it called W12 series when it's touring cars? Well, For one simple reason that Mirko Bortolotti, the man who runs this, decided to call it W12 Sprint Series. And it's actually way better than only racing in the Mercedes Formula 1 cars. So, yeah. That's why it's called the W12 Series.
The series started way before the W12 was even a thing in iRacing, so we were first. That's all I've got to say to that.
Indeed. This series even started before Mercedes called their race car W12, so we might go over to Mercedes and try and get some money off them.
Yeah.
Well then, still looking with this man, Fabian. We're going to go back up to Stefano Pellegrino, who is now under attack of the man who just got past Patrick Hen. Can he make this move maybe down the Mario Andretti straight?
Again, the straights, you would really need a great exit from the upcoming hairpin where they are driving, where they are coming to again. Let's see where Hen positions himself. He stays behind, so he maybe is going for the overtake on the straight, but it doesn't look like he's put too much effort into his exit. Let's see how it goes. He's of course got the slipstream, but look, there's still a gap. They're both in the same cars at the moment on the same fuel, so I don't see much of a... Yeah, it's perfect. I don't see much of a chance there for Hen.
Here comes the move. Down the inside goes Patrick Hen. He's the latest of the latest breakers. And with
He's done it.
He gets up into P6 and can now hunt down Benjamin Moser ahead of him. But what a move that was, down the inside there of the long right-hander.
Great job. I wouldn't have thought that he could pull it off like that, but look how much of a gap he's already driven out to Pellegrino in just 2 corners after the overtake. So he's got a lot of pace there, and he really wants to get up the field at the moment. You can really see it.
Not only that, I think that he's going to be looking to try and make his pit stop strategy work. Martin Stadtmann, he is defending at the moment from Jan Philippe, who is pressurizing him down the left-hander downhill. We come once again, and he's going to try and go down the inside. Has a little look, thinks the better of it though. He's going to try and keep behind for the Mario Andretti straight. Put some effort into his exit, and this could once again be a move down the inside or around the outside. He has the speed, is close enough to take advantage of that. So Martin Stadtmann does not have the toe from Ben Hitz ahead of him. So he could be vulnerable. Get into the toe of that 105. He doesn't. That's going to lose him speed, does Spring Up. And he's, because of that, not close enough to make that move at all. The slipstream, though, for these TCR cars, not working as much as we would have thought, I think. Look at this then for a move. This is Christoph Fabigan. And he goes into the pit lane, thinks the better of it, thinks, I'm going to try and undercut him. Martin Stadtmann into the pit lane as well. That has now allowed Ben Hitz to get up into P2. Patrick Hen in P4. Let me tell you, this man, Patrick Hen, what a comeback drive he has made. Up 4 positions and still really quick. Mirko Bortolotti, a gap of 4.5 seconds at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be stoppable in any way.
Not as dominant as he was in the feature races, but still very, very fast, of course. I've got some inside information from one of the drivers, actually, because some of you might have noticed that a driver that was pretty much right at the top is not there anymore, Clemens Schmidt. And he has told me that not only us, but also he had a couple of technical issues. So it's just this evening. Maybe it's full moon or something.
What's up with that German internet or with that Austrian internet?
Austrian internet. It just. Thank you very much, whoever is responsible for that. So yeah, technical problems all around, and it cost Clemens P3. So he's very disappointed in that.
Well, we're looking at this man at the moment. We're looking at Björn Ritter. He has just been off track. Here we're going to see, if we just go a little bit further on, the crash or the off track that he has had. Björn Ritter. Here we go. Looking on with him then.
Classic turn 2 happened to me also a lot of times in practice. It's a very difficult corner. Again, so many blind corners on this track, and that's just I would say a classic mistake to make there. But he hasn't lost too many positions, so yeah.
He'd gone off again after that, and I think it's at the corner we're coming up to now, where he goes off again. If we're gonna see it.
Oh, he's.
I think he goes off again here. Bricks too late. Yeah, there we go again.
Oh,
Makes
yeah.
the same mistake too late,
Again.
and that is into
and
the
he hits the
wall.
wall. So not very helpful there. Okay, nothing too bad on the rejoin there. So, but he's gone into the pits. He's got his car repaired. Everybody has got one fast repair.
Also been into
So,
the pits.
something like
this
that.
man.
Mirko Bortolotti has been in the pits. So now let's keep an eye out for Ben Hitz, Patrick Hen, and Stefano Pellegrino at the top. They will probably be making. Yeah, Ben is coming into the pits right now. There he is. Patrick Hen, Stefano, all of them are coming into the pit lane right now. So Mirko Bortolotti should inherit his lead in just a couple of seconds when he goes past the pit lane. Good on them to make it that far. Hits now, I can see in the pit itself. So filling up on fuel and now already going out. Stadtmann also. Oh, Pellegrino with a long pit stop there. Still in the pits. So I don't know what happened there.
It was actually the same time as everyone else. His pit lane time was 31.7 seconds, and Mirko Bortolotti's pit lane time was 31.6 seconds. So actually, I don't think that was too long of a pit stop there, Kevin.
But maybe a bit too long compared to the others around him, no, also.
The shortest pit stop time I've seen is 29.1 seconds from Henrik Augustin.
Yeah, he was very much faster. But, I mean, if they had, and you're completely right, of course, they had almost the same length of pit stop as Mirko did, but then they must have made some mistake because they have one lap less to fuel, so their pit stops should have been a bit shorter, I guess. But I'm proven wrong, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut about that, I guess.
Well, of course, don't keep your mouth shut, because then you won't be able to do commentary once again. We're looking at the battle of Christoph Fabigan with Marco Zilla. He's going to get into the slipstream. Is he going to try it around the outside? Really tricky move to make around the outside. Doesn't carry him through there. Now, he does have the speed coming out of this. Is he going to jump to the inside? Not really. Thinks the better of it and knows that he has, I think, 2 laps left after this one. So it's going to come on to the second to last lap now, and he will be trying to make that move at least before they get to the finish line. Patrick Hendo, after that pit stop, back into P7. Gap to the man behind him.
He's done a great job.
1 second, and he is closing up on him. Also, here we have Julien Rambaud. Jules, he is closing up to the back of Tyler Klaus.
Tyler Klaus.
Is he going to be able to make that move before the end of the race, you think?
Well, I mean, they let's see, last lap times. He was a lot faster on his last lap. Last lap for Jules was his best time as well. And he was almost a second faster than Klaus. So there is a chance. There is a chance. He doesn't have too many chances left. Of course, you said it. We're now in the second to last lap. So he's got to get on with it if he wants to get past. I think he's got the pace. Now he just needs to make it count.
Well, as we always say, catching up to someone is one thing, overtaking is another. Henrik Augustin here dropping some time to Benjamin Moser, who's now all over the back of him.
Close that is.
Patrick Hen, because of this, is also gaining on the back of him. And we know that he's really quick, so he might be a dark horse here to get up into P5. But look at Benjamin Moser all over the back of Henrik Augustin. He's going to try it down the inside. The white flag is waved by the flag barrier. And now we're on the last lap of this race. Mirko Bortolotti with a 5-second gap over Ben Hitz. Benjamin Moser, is he going to try and make that move? We're going to go back to this battle between Tyler Klaus and Julien Rambaud, just because look at the gap that they have. Is he going to be able to make that move? Not quite. Down the hill that they had to break a little bit. And now that has allowed the gap to go out to about 3/10 once again. But this is a battle that has been close all race long, through the pit stop cycle as well. Bit of that the same lap, these guys, remember. So that's why this battle has been close this whole race long. A little bit further up the road. This is a battle to take a look at as well.
Oh, somebody's gone
that's
off. Hanna's gone off. Hanna's gone off. He's been done so well all race to go up the field, and now he's gone off in the hairpin.
Well, all the progress that he has made now lost on the very last lap of this race. A man who hasn't lost that progress he made and is gonna win in server 1 is Mirko Bortolotti. First race of the W12 series, back on top again for the champion of last season. And that is a victory in the feature race for Mirko Bortolotti. Ben Hitz behind him in second, and Martin Stadtmann in third. Fourth for Jan-Philipp Springop. And then rounding off the top 5 is this man, Hendrik Augustin. A little bit further back, Rambo Schulz and
oh, look how close that was on the line.
11 hundredths of a second that was in the end. But man, oh man, was that a race to say.
That was some
amazing.
Great racing. Unbelievable stuff there from our drivers in the TCRs. I don't think a lot of guys in here, I'm not sure with everyone, but I know the TCR, I mean, it's a great class to drive. It's very fun, but not a lot of people actually drive that more competitively or even more often than once every couple of weeks or months. So to see all of them doing so great with the TCRs, brilliant stuff to look at. Unbelievably close fighting, and you can see also the slower cars can be quite fun to watch, or even more so than the faster ones sometimes.
Well, I wouldn't say that these TCR cars are particularly slow.
No, of course not. But compared to a GT3 or further up even, the more popular leagues in iRacing as well, the LMP2s and stuff, they are of course a bit slower than that, I'd say.
Well, here we go then. This is the result for you on the screen right now. Mirko Bortolotti wins in the feature race out of Ben Hitz, Martin Stadtmann in P3, Jan Springop in P4, Hendrik Augustin P5, Benjamin Moser in P6, Christoph Fabigan in P7, Marco Zilla in P8, Stefano Pellegrino P9, Patrick Hen in P10, Tyler Klaus P11, Julien Rambo Jules in P12, and P13 for Jean Terre. Then in P14, Markus Deutsch, Stefan Capella in P15, Jan Lins P16, Björn Ritter in P17, Thomas Bieber P18, P19 for Thomas Leige, or how do I pronounce that, Kevin?
Yeah. Was good. Thomas Leitgeb, Markus Riemer in P20, we saw him cross the line there. We've got Pascal Haas in P21, Florian Becker P23, Lebelt in P23, Becker in 22, of course, Hugo Eckerson in 24, and then we've got Schmid, Saurer, Meyer, Hochleitner, Stadtmann, and Heger, who, did not finish the race, sadly.
Well, I have a question for you here, Kevin.
Yes.
The Germans and the Austrians have a particular kind of S in the alphabet that we don't know.
Yes.
Yes. But if you write it down without that S, it's just a double S at the end of it.
Yeah, it's in capitalized letters. So as we can see it right here in the shore names, you don't have that letter. You only have it in smaller case. So yeah, that's why it's not showing up here, for instance.
Okay, so they were just too lazy to write two S's, so they've done a certain kind of symbol letter for it.
Pretty much that, yeah.
Those lazy Germans. Well, guys, we are gonna go to a little bit of an intermission screen, if I have that ready for you, and then we will be back to you with Heat or Server 2 in just a moment of time. Hang on with us, and we'll see you then.
Right. Oh my god. Oh my god. I have no fucking idea what happened there. I just couldn't tell you. everything I've tested. Yeah, but I mean that new update is horrible. I don't know what they were thinking. It's crash. It happened also with the in the PRL yeah PC, sorry. Unbelievable. Yes. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sorry. What was that? It's me. Yeah. All right. I'm not gonna say any bad words now, just in case. And yeah, if so, if anybody in the chat still hears me, I don't know. Again, I'm gonna keep it child friendly now. But yeah, guys, it's technical problems up and down the field today. Unbelievable stuff. I mean, I would love, I mean, that my stream wasn't sending enough bitrate out. Okay, I can live with that. But I have put so much work into my Stream Deck and into SDK to steer it nicely, to steer everything. I've got buttons set up to take everything out, to put everything in with the driver info and stuff. That really annoys me that I can't do that. I put so much work into that, and now I can't even use it. I mean, I would love to try again. Maybe just they can still hear me. Well, then, guys, you can listen to what I'm talking. Then just for you as feedback, they can still hear me. But at least I kept it family friendly. So yeah, guys, might as well talk to you if you can hear me, anyways. So, how was that first race? Maybe I know that a lot of drivers also maybe sometimes watching, maybe not. If you were watching the first race, tell me in chat, how was it for you guys? How did you find it? It was a very, very, very fun race to watch, I think. So good, in fact, that you could ignore all the technical stuff that was happening on the side. So tell me, guys in chat, tell me, how was it for you? If you can hear me anyways, then let's talk. Then let's talk together, I guess. While we wait for the second server to open up. Shouldn't be too long. I'm really intrigued what's happening. Why you guys can hear me? My voice has attracted the bots, I see. So yeah, but then you can hear it. We have given a lot of preparation for this thing. I am just as annoyed as I think you guys are that not everything is working. We've put a lot of hours into making everything into making everything good. So maybe so I don't think they can see it right now because you're still in the works of getting everything up. Is that correct then? Yes. So they can't see it right now. Where we are. Okay. So then we're gonna do it. Maybe for you guys to think about it. It's a relatively new tractor iRacing. It's very small. Not a lot of curves. And if I think it's a perfect combination of car and track that we've got in the next server. And people are already struggling with it from what I can see here. So this next one might also be very, very fun to watch. Very fun. While we are waiting everything too. So I still no text in chat about how you
now as well.
Okay. Well, then we can all talk together.
Yeah.
Yeah. great stuff. Great stuff tonight. Technical. I love it. I love it when technical stuff goes wrong.
Me too, man.
It's so unpredictable and so fun. So I'm very happy to report that we also have well, not a great mix of cars in the next server, but it doesn't look too bad. There's, I would say, one brand that sticks out a bit, but not by too much.
Because I'm not on the server yet. Is it the Mercedes?
No, I wouldn't say so, actually.
Then it's the Porsche.
Yes. So okay, I'm just gonna spoil it for you guys now. Warning, spoiler. Next server, or this server that we are now coming onto, is the GT4 class in Knockhill. That's right.
Car combination.
I mean, I think a lot of I remember from when Knockhill came to iRacing, a lot of people were not too happy about it.
Well, it's Knockhill International, so straight, corner, straight, corner, 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 straight, little straight, corner, and then we're back to the straight, corner, straight again.
I mean, you pretty much, I think, described every racetrack in the world right now. But,
Well, it's the fact that there are 3 straights, or it's straight, corner, straight, and then a lot of corners, and then we'll go back to the straight corner once again. So
yeah, I mean,
it's not thrown through each other. It's corners and straights are divided here.
yeah, it's either a real corner or a real straight. That's of course one way pretty much to look at it. I think those small tracks. I'm also a big fan of the English tracks, so like Snetterton, Open Park, Brands Hatch. Those are also very great tracks. I love them very much, and I think Knockhill for me falls just straight into the same category. Track to drive on, and those GT4 cars on this track, they are just so much fun to drive. It's not a very wide track, so you need a bit smaller cars. I think GT3s are, I think they are just a bit too big for this track, in my opinion. They still work, but not as well as smaller cars do. Like, as I said, the GT4s, I think they are very fun to drive here. And
yeah, it's a great car track combo. How long do I still have at the moment?
Practice should be stopping in around, let me just quickly, 5 minutes, 4.5 minutes. So
Great,
a bit of time left until quali still.
There we go. We're on it. Well then, welcome back everyone to the W12 series. We're here. Everything should be fixed right now. And this time we have 1 heat race, I think. 1 feature race and an open qualifying. And especially the open qualifying is what I'm excited about.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got right now the practice session where you can see the drivers going off at every corner at the moment. We've got 15 minutes open qualifier, if I'm not mistaken. The rules have changed a bit, but I think those are the times of right now. Then we've got the main race, so a normal race, so to say, 15 minutes, and then we've got a reversed grid race. The top 18 of the main race get reversed, and then they've got 18 minutes to claw back the positions. Something that is completely new to the W12, and then that I have to take the time to explain. I'm trying to do it quickly. We've still got 3 minutes left in the practice session. Is we've got penalty weights. You know it, you love it, or maybe not, depends. And it works like this. First and second fastest car brand in qualifying get each 5 kilograms plus. Everything that maybe beforehand, every penalty weight is only applied for the next time the GT4s are driven. So first and second fastest Brent in qualifying get 5 kilograms, so it's not first and second place. So if the top 3 are all Mercedes and then P4 is a Porsche, it's still Mercedes and Porsche that get the 5 kilograms plus. So that's how it works. And the top 3 brands in the main race get 20, 18, and 15 kilograms. So P1 gets 20 kilograms, P2 gets 18 kilograms, and P3 gets 15 kilograms. Again, applied for the next week when we are driving the GT4s again. So if it's in 2 weeks' time, it's in 2 weeks' time. Not for the same server. So if somebody today, if Mirko Bortolotti, who we are watching right now, in his Aston Martin gets pole position and wins the main race, the Aston Martin and all of the Aston Martin drivers will get 25 kilograms plus next time around.
Which to me
I hope that explains it.
Is interesting. So you never want to be picking the same car as
again
my man
exactly,
Mirko Bortolotti, because he's probably going to win quite a lot of it.
Yes, but there is another rule to make this fair. The top 5 drivers of the race, they have to stay with their cars the next time round. So if Mirko wins it today,
yes,
he will have to drive the Aston Martin in the next GT4 race next week or the week after or whatever, or whenever the next time the GT4s are being driven. He has to drive again with the Aston Martin. If not, he gets disqualified. The rules are pretty harsh at this point, where how they should be, in my opinion. So that's the catch with that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sitting here on the top story of my house, and it's currently raining quite heavily. So yeah. I am hearing a lot of rain noises on the roof. And actually it's raining so hard that the rain I hear is harder than the sound that I hear through my headset, which is turned all the way up. So I hope that just tells you how hard it's raining right now. Just some inside information on where I live. So if it's raining very hard for you right now, and well, you're almost able to swim through the street, I'm joking there. It's not flooded, but yeah, then you might live close to me, just so you know. Well then, practice come to an end. We're into qualifying now. What sort of times do we expect?
Well, very, very quick times, hopefully. Again, I can't point my finger to a single let's say second. I'm hoping that it will be again as close as we had it in the TCRs. But I think the people were struggling quite a lot in practice from what we have seen. So I'm not sure that everybody will be able to get a quick lap time out. I think a lot of drivers will just have to try and get a lap in without getting an off track or anything. It's open qualifying, it's 15 minutes, so they have a lot of chances. But yeah, it's gonna be difficult. It's not an easy track to get a good or perfect lap in.
No, not at all. It's well, let's say it's a tricky one.
Yeah, we're just right now looking at Jonas Wanner in the Chiquita. I hope it's also for you guys. Mercedes, there we can see those chicanes. They are very tough, very high curbs. It's going uphill again, a bit blind, similar to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, flashing to get the car in front of him out of the way. The Aston does do very nicely there. Into the final corner, again a hairpin, again uphill. It's a lot of uphill, downhill, which is what makes this track, in my opinion, so great. And let's see what is the first time for Martin Stadtmann, who puts a 50.09 in. Jonas Wanner had an off track, so
This
that's
corner
why
coming
his
up
time.
now.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. It drops uphill. This one, that's coming up now. Uphill. What a track this
Again,
is,
you
man.
can see. Yeah, awesome. I love it as well. But I think again, Wanner again probably going off track there. It was a bit far to the right. First times are coming in. Yeah, we're looking right now at the fastest man on track, Martin Stadtmann, 50.09. Even Mirko Bortolotti couldn't quite catch up to that. 0.3 of a second behind Stadtmann there. Let's look at him in the S-Mod. Look how much it's jumping around.
We have
Unbelievable stuff.
a driver in the chat, Howard Designs. I wish all participants good luck and a lot of fun. Patrick Hen, go! So not a driver in chat, but at least someone who supports the driver. Patrick Hen. So Patrick Hen, not also is a quick driver and was doing well last race. He also has a lot of fans in the chat right now, so that's amazing to see. Keep up the support for your favorite driver. Let us know in the chat as well. Who are you supporting? We would love to know who you are supporting and how your driver has done in the last server and what you think he's going to do in this server. So what do you think he's going to do in the heat race and the feature race? Well, then get that out of the way. Go on.
Yeah, I want to say, let's hope for Patrick Hen that it goes a bit better than it did in the TCR server, where he was driving very fast.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong there, but of course he had that very costly mistake very late in the race. So let's hope for him that it works out a bit better in this second server, in this GT4 server.
Yeah, let's hope so. Once again, I've seen that SDK doesn't really like us.
Nope.
It's once again slowed
I thought
down.
so. Yeah, so please everybody take what you see on the left a bit with a pinch of salt. Stadtmann is still in the lead, but Jan-Philipp Springop, Jonas Wanner, Robert Hege have all overtaken Mirko Bortolotti. Bortolotti at the moment only in P5. Jonas Wanner is the new pole setter, 49.93. So he's gone a bit, just a tiny bit quicker than Martin Stadtmann, but of course it is a short lap, and so really the tiniest of margins will be what it all boils down to. Hugo Eckerson now in P6. A lot of drivers right now out on track. Again, ignore the overlay. What you can see from the drivers, that is of course at least still working. Right now we're looking at Thomas Leitgeb, who is right now very far down the order in P25, but he still got a bit of time to make things work. We are right now
Trying to fix it, that's what we are.
trying to fix it, of course. That's what we are doing as well. Maybe shall we try switching the roles again?
It's up again. It should be working on the left-hand side now.
All right. I've got so many screens up, so I'm always having to check where the proper one is. But yeah.
Technology, everyone. Technology. Oh, and around goes the Porsche. And that is his lap done, the number 13. Let me seeing if I can see who that is. And looking, and I can't see who that is at the moment. Taking a look then at my scoreboard, at my leaderboards, that at the moment is the one and the only Thomas Leitgeb. So Leitgeb. So that's him off track. Jonas Wanner though still with pole position. And it has done it again, I think. Yes, it has done it again. I don't know what is happening with SDK. It's absolutely S since the update. So hang with us here. We're desperately trying to fix this and hope that
We're
it stays
really
okay.
desperate. Don't worry about that. I'm pretty desperate right now.
it's just the fact that so much work has gone into this, and that it's now all being undone basically, and we're looking like a bunch of noobs who don't know what they're doing.
Complete amateurs.
Yes.
We've done this so many times. You're doing this every day of the week, more or less. Then and so, yeah. Please, everybody, watch and forgive us. There's really nothing.
It should be working again for the stream now.
It should be working. Yeah, it's because of course we are on different computers. I've got my own SDK running up. It should be working for me right now again as well. I'm not quite sure, to be honest.
Well, there's 7 minutes and spare left in this qualifying session.
Yeah.
Wana is still in pole position, now goes off in the number 19, so not the lap that he would have wanted. Then we go on to the man currently in second, and I don't think it's the man who we expect to be in second, Martin Stadtmann. We know he's quick, but I expected him to be a little bit further up, to be honest. Then we have Mirko Bortolotti at the moment.
He's the man
P7.
we would have expected a bit further up, I'd say. Only in P7 at the moment.
In these GT4s, I would have expected Martin Stadtmann to take pole position, to be honest. Well, jumping up into P2 though in these GT4s, look at this man in the Malfilter Mercedes, Hugo Ekersen, but immediately gets dropped back down to P3.
In right that second. But look at how close the margins are. Of course, it is a short track, but we've got the top. Am I correct? The top 6 drivers? No, at least the top 5 drivers, all in less than 0.2 of a second. So unbelievable how close everybody is at the moment. Yeah, let's look at it like that. Yeah, I think, yeah, Higa is exactly 0.2 behind. So the top 6 are 0.2 away from each other, which is absolutely incredible. It's the finest of margins that it comes down to, and we can see even top world class drivers like Mirko Bortolotti are struggling to get a let's say perfect lap in, because we of course know how much talent he has.
It's quite a short track as well, so trying to find that clean air on this track is going to be difficult as well. It's not only that, trying to get a clean lap in, but also trying to get that clean lap in when you have the chance. Because
yeah, he jumps back into the pits now.
Just look at how many cars are out on track. We have 29 drivers with us on a track that takes the fastest man out on track, Jonas Vana, only 49.9 seconds to complete.
It's pretty much all over the place.
If you spread them all out with an equal gap.
We've got a new pole setter, Hugo Ekersen. 49.92.
100th in between those two, and he takes pole position.
Unbelievable.
Well then, but if you spread them out, coming back to my point, you have 15 seconds.
Yes.
Divide that by just 25, because we're going to keep it simple here. The biggest gap you would have between any drivers, if you spread them out equally, would be less than 2 seconds.
Which is, of course, nothing. Oh, we've got it there. That's how you... There's not a lot of space on the track. Hugo Ekersen gets there. I don't know if he got in the way. He has to be somewhere as well. But the driver that hit him will not be happy about that. Looks like he was on a fast lap there.
Well, it's the beginning of the lap coming out of the first corner. This man, the first man in the McLaren, so he will be happy with that. The best McLaren out on track at the moment is this man.
Not a very popular car at the moment. Only 3 drivers.
Yeah.
Sitting in the McLaren. It's actually my favorite. So I'm a bit sad that it hasn't been picked more often there.
Well, if we just take a look now, really quickly here, Kevin, and we go to the NASCAR Tower, we do car logo, we see it on the top as well, but look at that. Top 6, 5 of them Mercedes. That is why I thought that this class would be dominated by Mercedes.
Yeah, but you can see, other than the top 6, there are only 2 more Mercedes in the field, so it's not... No. It is the it is the fastest car at the moment.
But that is why I was
obviously.
expecting it to dominate, because it is this fast, as you can clearly see right now.
I mean, yeah, you gotta say maybe drivers were thinking about already the next time the GT4 might be coming up.
From what
And
I
maybe
know, go on.
yeah, no.
From what I know, the Mercedes is a pretty good all-round car. So I don't know why it would go off of that car. We're looking now with this man, Robert Hega, who, well, I don't like the standard silver livery on that Mercedes. The man filter livery that Hugo Ekkersen has, I like that way more. And why is that? Because it's not that standard that you've seen all weekend long on a Mercedes Formula 1 car.
Yeah, well,
It's a great livery.
It's still a beautiful car, the silver Mercedes. So
It is.
of course that one is a bit more out of left field, but still works very well, I guess. Let's see where it takes Vanna. It takes him back to
position.
the 49.613 tenths. He's taken off Ekkersen. That is a lap. That is an unbelievable lap to take away 3 tenths from your opponent on a track as short as this. Unbelievable.
All the while, this man, Mirko Bortolotti in the number 888, still struggling. More than half a second down on Jonas Vana. So he will not be happy with that. Letting people through and getting a clean lap is also difficult here on this track, because it's quite a small track, isn't it?
It is. Not a lot of space to let people past, of course. And I mean, you want to get out there, you want to put your laps in as much as everybody else, but we have seen it a couple of times. If you stay on Mirko, we will probably see it once more when he gets past the pit exit. The pit exit is an unbelievably dangerous place because the racing line that you want to take for turn 1 just goes straight through the pit exit. Let's look. We can see it probably right now with Mirko. Look, he's going into the pit exit. So where do you want to come out of the pits there? It's pretty much impossible, but yeah, you just have to.
I think it's the same at Alton Park as well, or Donington Park, where the race line is also coming out of the pit exit.
Exactly.
And off there is the BMW. I don't know who that
Julian.
exactly was. Yeah, Julian.
I think it was Julian. That is a livery that really. I remembered that the only guy with the V10R Racing Esports livery, so very recognizable. Good job there for picking that one.
So then, this is the last lap for Mirko Bortolotti. It doesn't seem like he improved. He's not even going to be able to come across the line. And we have the grade for you out on the screen right about... Where is it? Now.
It is. So Jonas Vanna with an unbelievable lap puts it on pole position, 49.615, 3 tenths ahead of Hugo Ekkersen in P2, who's also done very great. I thought it was going to be closer, but Jonas just pulled one out of the bag. Unbelievable. Robert Heger in P3 is ahead of Martin Stadtmann in P4. Look, you can see the gaps to Vanna, and you can see how much they are closing up as soon as we get away from Vanna at P1. Hendrik Augustin in P5, Jan Springop in P6, Mirko Bortolotti in P7, Ben Hitz in P8, Julian Rambe in P9, Benjamin Moser in P10, Tyler Klausch P11, Florian Becker in P12. Chanter takes up P13, Clemens Schmidt only in P14, Stefano Pellegrino P15, Max Riemer P16, Marco Zeiler in P17, Christoph Favigan in P18, Thomas Pieber in P19, Gustavo Xavier in P20, Markus Deutsch P21, Florian Stadtmann takes P22, Lebelt takes P23, Patrick Henn in P24. Howard Designs, you will have to cheer him on a bit more if you want him further up the road. Benedikt Hochleitner in P25, Björn Ritter in P26, Jan Linz takes P27, Thomas Leitgeb P28, Stefan Capella P29, and Pascal Haas rounds off the grid in P30.
Well then, let's look towards the start of this race, because, well, what a race I'm expecting here at at this track. And we're gonna get a rolling start, which will give us a chance to talk about the grid a little bit more. Mirko Bortolotti maybe has chosen the wrong car, but Hendrik Augustin in the Aston is the only one, well, making sure that it's not a complete top 5 from all Mercedeses. So that Mercedes, first of all, dominant. Second of all, Mirko Bortolotti a little bit underperforming, I think, here in qualifying.
Yeah, he himself will not be too happy with that, I guess. But I mean, we will see how he adapts. He is, of course, in the Aston Martin, which is at the moment only the second quickest car. With, of course, Augustin being the fastest Aston at the moment, only in P5. So yeah, we will see how he can claw back. I mean, we know that he's a good driver, so, but I don't see anyone going past Vanna at the moment. That qualifying performance, that was just so dominant, getting 3/10 in a 50 or 49 second lap ahead of the next driver is just unbelievable.
That's almost a second.
Yeah, if you yeah, that's unbelievable. So if it wasn't just blind luck, which I don't think it was with Jonas, because he's of course a great driver, I don't see anyone getting past him if he can keep his nose clean.
Well then, the safety car pulls off, and Jonas Vanna can dictate the pace right now. And he's going to go green, green, green here right about now. And they're all going to go off into the first corner. Jonas Vanna still ahead. Hugo Egersen going to try look around the outside. Up the inside goes Robert Heger. Stopman in P4. And Mirko Bortolotti making it 3 wide a little bit further back. Behind Augustin and Ben Hitz. Ben Hitz on the outside now is going to give that one up. Up the hill they all go. Are they going to get through there cleanly? A difficult corner that one is, to try and make it through cleanly. But at the moment, Kevin, Jonas Vanna still in the lead with a 7-10 gap.
Look at that, already 7/10. He's clawed out of there. He's done great at the start. Somebody in the back, I don't know which driver it was exactly, had an amazing start. I think it was Jan Springop. I'm not sure. Somebody really got up the pack there. Bortolotti now has got Augustin in his rear mirror very close.
Mirko Bortolotti actually not getting such a good start because he lost 2 positions off the starting line.
No, not a good start from him there.
Got those 2 back by the end of the first lap, but yeah, not a good start for him.
And you can just see the top 5 now, all Mercedes. So there is very much a dominant car around this circuit right now.
Here we go. It's well, not only the Mercedes that are dominant, it's also Jonas Vanna. Inside goes Mirko Bortolotti, and the BMW off. Ben Hitz goes off.
Ben Hitz. Oh, what happened there? Ben Hitz just with the, I mean, definitely contact. I don't see him losing the car there for another reason. Let's see what happened there. Was Ben Hitz versus Mirko Bortolotti.
Oh, I think a little bit of net code.
It looks like a net code from here. Will definitely be one.
Also, what happened while we were looking at that? Don't know why we're looking at a scenic camera. Benedict Hochleitner, here he comes out of the pit lane.
Starting from the pit lane.
Look, someone coming across there.
Yeah, starting from the pit lane. I don't know why there are so many drivers, or was that now a pit?
Well, here we have.
I'm not sure.
This is the same thing.
That was
I
the
don't know why he has crashed.
Maybe they. Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Well,
SDK is just being weird today. Another guy coming out of the pits there.
Well, and it says he is crashed too, so I think it's just something. Oh, and off goes Hugo Egersen!
Oh!
In the background!
Egersen is gone off. Somebody else has gone off with him. Jan Philipp Springop has gone off as well in the Mercedes. So Two of the front runners now, right down the field.
Well then, let's take a look at how that
It's all
went.
kicking off.
Oh, that is unlucky
just
there for Hugo Akerson.
It was so close. They've touched, I think, at the apex. I think Springup has been on the inside on the apex, just jumped a bit too much of the curb, and then touched Akerson's car, and then just everything went from bad to worse there. But again, this will probably be something the stewards will be looking into. And then Akerson spins himself out at the exit of the chicane. So, he will not be happy with that. Hugo Akerson has been... yeah, I mean, he's been... Yeah, we're a bit stuck there. He's been doing very well. Now Robert Heger has taken the lead from Jonas Wanner.
I am trying to fix it. SDK tried to or has decided it'll shut it down, or it'll shut itself down again. So back to live fixes we go. Here we are then. Back to live
So
fixes.
let's look
Quick
at
fix
Wanner,
this time.
please, quickly, because I want to see maybe if we can spot some damage on his car. He has lost P1.
I can sadly not go back and look at that because I had to restart the program again.
Yeah. Well, there goes my bet out of the window with Jonas Wanner not being overtaken in this race. He must have heard me and wanted to prove me different, or I don't know. But there he is in P2, the very dominant man from qualifying, Tyler Klausch.
Look at this then.
Oh,
Up
it
at the
might
P3
be eating
already.
up there. Bortolotti already up to P3. Yeah, he's one. He is always able to use those chances. Wanner is now going past Heger on the start-finish straight into turn 1. Can he maybe try it around the outside? He was ahead on the straight, but has backed off there for the first turn. Heger again in front of Jonas Wanner. Look at how many drivers are there. The top 7 just about 2 seconds. Splitting them there now. Bortolotti is going past Wanner. Wanner is just going backwards and backwards right now. Now down to P3. Mirko Bortolotti using the chance in the background. There's so much stuff happening on screen. Can't even focus on one.
Wow.
Look, now Wanner again under attack from Stadtmann. Stadtmann has got the inside now for the next turn if he wants to use it. He is up the inside and he makes the move stick for the second. No, Wanner gets back, but now again Stadtmann on the inside and now he's through.
Wow,
Wanner
Kevin.
just dropping down.
Well then, it's Wanner now off track as well, so losing momentum, and with that losing a couple of positions, now free to go for the lead. That is in the hands of Robert Heger at the moment. It's Mirko Bortolotti in that Aston Martin. Traffic coming into play as well, and Wanner again under attack of Julien Rambaud, who's now going to try and go around the outside of the last corner. That
And you
uphill
get a good
corner,
exit there.
you really want to get the inside because it's difficult to get the drive around the outside a little bit further back. It's the McLaren
at
of
that.
Benjamin Moser trying to make
Oh.
it past. Is he going to try and make that move around the outside of Hendrik Augustin as well? Not quite, and loses the position once again to Tyler Klaus. So we're trying to make that move on the Aston, who lost the position to the BMW.
Yeah, Augustin positioned himself. He had 2 cars in his rearview mirror. He positioned himself right down the middle and no one dared to try anything there. Probably a bit of a safer bet. Everybody, of course, right now in very good positions. I mean, 6, 7, 8, those are also very good points paying positions.
Oh yeah.
So you might not want to risk it right now to just maybe kick yourself out of the race there with a stupid maneuver, and they have thought better of it. Augustin is now coming into the pit lane. Ahead of him is Marco Zalo just leaving the pit lane. So now Augustin in the pits. Maybe going back to the top because there's Heger is keeping his
He's
lead
keeping
to
that gap.
Bortolotti very, very nicely. Bortolotti can't really go much faster than Heger or at all.
Also going purple in the first sector this time round is Robert Heger. So
Is Robert Heger,
stamping
yes.
up the pace as well, not allowing Mirko Bortolotti to try and get past in any way or form. Green in sector 2 as well. Is he going to post a purple sector time in sector 3? No, he's not, but he did post a green time for him. 2/10 quicker than Mirko
fastest lap.
Bortolotti on that lap.
Yeah, and you can already see just the gaps opening up a bit. Bortolotti can also open up the gap to Vanna and Stadtmann, who are fighting in the background. Vanna is getting his position back from Stadtmann. Vanna now back into P3, has found his mojo again, it seems, because he's now trying to pull away from Stadtmann again.
Oh, big
But
slide
can
there
he
for
keep it?
Stadtmann. That's the question in the end. Here we look back a little bit further. Coming out of the pit lane is Lebelt, I think. And Jean-Philippe Stringop is just had that in the Drago liveried Mercedes. Trying to overtake that MediaMark sponsored BMW. And that is Ben Hitz in that BMW, who's, well, increasing that gap slightly right now. As we look further up the road, Julien Rambaud also now ahead of Tyler Klaus still and behind Martin Stadtmann. Is he going to be able to make that move into the top 4, you think, as they hop over the chicane there?
Well, you gotta still wait for Jonas Vanna. He's been in the pits already, so he will be coming back into that fight again, I think.
Well, in chat, we have Howard Designs who says maybe it's my livery for him, not a good mojo, or not a good omen. So I don't think so. That livery looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful livery, of course, and it has served him fine in the first race. So I wouldn't think that is the case right now. Everybody, a lot of drivers coming into the pits now as well. Our leader, Martin and Florian Stadtmann, both into the pits. Mirko Bortolotti now takes the lead, of course, but still has to pit himself. A lot of drivers still out, so the top 8 drivers right now not been into the pit lane as of now.
That's surprising to me. I expected them to already be in at this point, but I guess they think differently. Mirko Bortolotti gonna try and maybe do this without a stop. Maybe he can fuel safe. No, he's going to put it into the pit lane right now. That's going to give Julian the lead. No, he's not. He's also coming into the pit lane with a full crew behind him.
That was very important when setting up everything, that no driver, no matter how much you fuel safe, would be able to make it through without a stop. Right now we're looking at the perfect man who might be trying to not do that, Thomas Pieper.
Trying to prove us wrong.
Trying to prove him wrong. Also, always one for the strategies, I want to say. Of course, if the viewers don't know, I am part of ASR, of the Austrian Sim Races. Oh, we've got...
Bortolotti came out ahead of Heger and Vanna.
Vanna, but Vanna is very close. So Vanna also did a great job in the pit lane to be ahead of Heger again. Or Heger did a comparatively bad job in the pit lanes. We don't know as of now. Vanna now fighting it out with Bortolotti. Pieper now in the pit lane, so they will take the lead. Or Bortolotti will take the lead of the race.
I can tell you, he's going to keep the inside here.
Oh, he's going to try it around the outside, maybe. No, thinks better of it. It is a very difficult place to overtake again.
He's almost pushing him through the corner. Is Jonas Vanna. Bortolotti now inherits the lead because I think our man who was in the lead, let me quickly take a look. I think it was...
Heger?
No, Thomas Pieper, who was in the lead.
Pieper, yeah, he was in the pit. Yeah, he was in the pits.
He is now giving that lead to Mirko Bortolotti. But Mirko Bortolotti is still under pressure here. in the last race of this evening, I think we have here, Kev. Gonna try it around the outside, the inside. Let me tell you, it's gonna be for Mirko Bortolotti. He is not gonna give that up in any way. But the question is Higa gonna make it 3 wide? He's a little bit too far back, I think. Around the outside goes Johannes. Jonas Vana. Can he make that move stick? Beautiful move around the outside.
Oh, he made it. Unbelievable stuff there by Jonas Vana. Just really showing his pace that he showed in qualifying. He finally gets it out for the race. It has taken a couple of laps for him to warm up, but he finally does. And he's done brilliantly there to overtake Mirko Bortolotti around the outside. Absolute poetry in racing, what we have seen right there. Both drivers, of course, giving immense amounts of respect to each other there, to not push each other off or do any stupid stuff. But it's brilliant. When it goes down like that, it's just wonderful to watch what those drivers are doing out on track.
If I look at that Mercedes, it looks like it's got a lot of torque coming out of those corners, a lot of torque in the low end, and that Aston just struggling to get off the corner a little bit, and also through the corner. Look at that. Jonas Vana just gaining time in every corner. Mirko Bortolotti not able to keep up, and I don't think that's because of Mirko's talent, because we know that man, of course, champion from last season and the season before and the season before that, I think. So this man, goodness me, does he have talent, but not able to keep up because of, I think, just the Aston being a little bit slower than all the other cars. And I think Hendrik Augustin is proving that as well.
Well, but he's also doing great. I mean, Augustin was awesome before. Let's not downplay the pace of Jonas Vana. Again, we have seen it in qualifying. Jonas Vana has also decimated, last lap, decimated all of the other Mercedes. So he is an unbelievably quick driver at this track in this car. So
Mirko Bortolotti down the inside goes Higa, and that's Mirko Bortolotti caught napping, and down to P3 he goes. So caught napping up the inside.
And look now, Augustin, how close he is.
Mirko Bortolotti dropping down the order. Maybe he needs to save a little bit of fuel, but unbelievably close this is. Maybe that's the reason why he had such a quick pit stop. Never mind. The quickest lap last time round for this man. Jonas Vana comes through the last corner, back onto the straight once again to take victory in the last race this evening. Jonas Vana is victorious in the W12 series. Robert Higa in P2 and Mirko Bortolotti in P3, and Hendrik Augustin in the end coming through in P4. Rounding off the top 5 though is Julien Rambaud. Wow, Kevin.
What a race. Vana pulled it back after almost at one point in this 15 minutes race, I was thinking there's no chance for him to come back. He's just dropping down the order like you never seen before, and then he just comes back with such an emphatic drive, such an unbelievable overtake on Mirko Bortolotti down the chicane into turn 4 or 5. So unbelievable stuff there from him. Very, very well deserved winner there, Jonas Vana. Robert Higa, as you said, caught Mirko Bortolotti napping in the final lap, got past him as well. And then again, Bortolotti in P3 and Hendrik Augustin in P4. So the top 4, 2 Mercedes, 2 Astons, and the third car, the BMW, by Julien Rambaud, finishing off the P5, the top 5.
Well, if you just want to know how exciting it was, I have just gotten a notification from my Apple Watch that says sound levels hit 90 decibels. Sound levels hit 90 decibels around 30 minutes at this level can cause temporary hearing loss. So I hope everyone in my house has his earplugs in, because we're going crazy out here.
We're absolutely going crazy, and this is what the W12 is about, I think. Just this quick, absolutely exciting races, and what a race it was. And I just want to quickly point out before we go into the reverse grid race. So that means Mercedes, Aston Martin, BMW all get penalty weights for the upcoming week when we are driving the GT4s again. Maybe next week, maybe the week after that. We will see that. But remember those 3 cars, they will get penalty weights next time round.
Here we go then, grading for race 2. Christian Fabigan in P1, Marcus Deutsch P2, Stefan Capella P3, P4 for Lebelt, Florian Stadtmann P5, Springop in P6, 7th Ben Hits, Sean Terre in P8, Thomas Pieper in P9, Florian Becker in P10, Benjamin Moser in P11, P12, Martin Stadtmann, P13, Tyler Klaus, Julien Rambo in P14, Hendrik Augustin P15, 16, Mirko Bortolotti, Robert Heger in P17, Jonas Warner P18, Hugo Ekersen P19, Stefano Pellegrino P20, P21 for Pascal Haas, Gustavo Xavier P22, Jan Lins P23, P24 for Thomas Liedgeb, and then we have Bjorn in P25, P26 Patrick Hen, and P27 for Benedikt Hochleitner, Clement Schmidt P28, P29 for Marco Zilla, and Marcus Rima in P30. Taking a look then at the result of that heat race really quickly. Just the top guys here. Jonas Warner finished in P1, if you of course saw that. What a drive by him. Robert Heger in P2, Mirko Bortolotti P3, Hendrik Augustin P4, Julien Rambo in P5, Tyler Klaus in P6, Martin Stadtmann P7, Benjamin Moser P8, Florian Becker P9, and P10 Thomas Pieper. I'm just gonna quickly scroll through this, and you can look where your favorite driver is before we get to the start of this last race here this evening. I have to excuse myself, it was not the last race that we had here, because it's gonna be another feature race that we have to contend with. I hope you've all now seen your favorite driver. We're gonna go back one more time to the top 10. Jonas Warner P1, Robert Heger P2, and Mirko Bortolotti P3. Here we go then. We're ready to take it to action once again here at this beautiful racetrack. And, well, what do we expect this time, Kevin? I think, Kevin, if we go off what happened last time, it's going to be another great start of the race. First of all, we're coming through the last corner now. The safety car has pulled off into the pit lane. And coming through there now, the last corner. Looking on then, when is Fabian gonna go green? The answer is in 3, 2, 1. They're already queuing up behind.
He's really waiting.
He's waiting, and now we go. Now it's green.
Gone.
It looked like a little bit of a jump start from Jan Philippe here, but it's look at it how wide they are. Coming into that first turn. Are they going to make it through? No, there's a
it's all
spinner.
gone wrong. It's all gone wrong.
There's a spinner.
Where... Oh, Tower going absolutely crazy. Another crash there for Terre. A lot of drivers out now. Who has survived that turn 1?
Bortolotti, of course,
massacre.
has. Look at this then.
He
Bortolotti,
is always
of course,
great
has.
in doing that.
Unbelievable.
P6 already. So he's come from P16.
But look at this man. Robert Heger up into P2
Robert Heger.
15 positions. What a drive from him.
Unbelievable.
Patrick Hen in that first lap gained 17. He's the biggest mover out on track at the moment. So up 17 positions. So Ahawa Designs, that beautiful livery of yours, doing him justice here in the second race of Server 2. P9 at the moment for Patrick Hen, ahead of Sean Terre. Down the inside, he's going to try and go, but what a start that was from him. Up 17 positions. Robert Heger up 15. And this man, Mirko Bortolotti in the Aston, up 10 positions.
Yeah, we've had a lot of huge gainers. We don't have to look at all of them, I think, right now. But again, yeah, you've mentioned Bortolotti and Heger and Hen, but also Stefano Pellegrino plus 12, Björn Ritter plus 13, Gustavo Xavier plus 11. So a lot of drivers who have gained massive amounts of positions in the starting phase. Let's see where it goes from here. Let's hope that the big one is out of the way. Of course, this a track with, I mean, we've got 30 drivers on such a small track, all fighting for position. It was, I think it was bound to happen at one point. It will be great news for Hager and Bortolotti, especially because what I wanted to talk about beforehand was it is a reverse grid race, and it is a very small and narrow track. So it's unbelievably difficult. A bit of a contact there.
Oh, and again!
Oh! He's turned him
Augustine
around.
off.
He's turned Augustine around. I think it was a bit of net code there, and now he spins
that's a
away
big
and
hit.
crashes into the wall.
Big hit for Benedict
And that's
Hochleitner,
it.
and that's his race done. I think. What is this then for a fight side by side between Fabian and Pellegrino? Pellegrino has that one down the inside of turn 1, and now maybe vulnerable as well to Patrick Hen behind that as well, so he could get another position here.
Yeah, well, we have to see how this one plays out. He is surrounded by Porsches. At the minute, there's the spin from Fabian, and all of them are out. 4 drivers. What happened to Pellegrino there? He probably wanted to avoid him and then just hit him. Another 4 drivers. I mean, Pellegrino has come away from that relatively unscathed, I think. But of course, yeah, another couple of drivers again out. Look at Vanna. Also already made up 10 positions. The fastest man on track,
19
fastest lap. Mark Teller, 19 positions plus for him. So he's done great. But also Vanna, there are a lot of the top 10 guys. They are pretty much all of them have gained except for Florian Stadtmann in P6, who has actually lost a position. But everybody else has gained massive amounts of places. Right now on board with Robert Hager, who's also done good in the first race and is bound to do good in the second race. What a crazy start, crazy race. Yes, the chat is pretty much sharing our view of how the race is going at the moment, or how it has gone at the moment. Look at Hager. He is starting. Is he starting to gain? Well, not really. Last lap, Hager was a bit slower than Ben Hitz in front. Ben Hitz really getting everything out of that BMW of his. But now it looks like Hager is getting a bit closer. Only 3/10 separating those 2 drivers. And he's got him in his sights. If he couldn't win the first race, maybe it's the reverse grid where Hager finally gets to step on the top step of the podium.
Look, that's what I mean. The drive out of the corner for that Mercedes is just, it's so strong out of that last corner. Unbelievable up the hill.
Yeah, but the BMW, he's done well. Hager couldn't really get much closer there. Oh, maybe now.
Down the
We've
inside.
seen the maneuver before. He's tried it before, or he has done it before on Bortolotti. But it wasn't enough this time round. Hits just too far ahead. Oh, he's gone it's not gone great over the curbs for the chicane there. He's lost a bit of time. Jumping down to Mirko Bortolotti in P5. And now to Springup, who is in the middle of Julian and Mirko in P4. So we've got a free car battle there as well. Julian in the BMW that we can see ahead. Springup in the AMG Mercedes, and Bortolotti behind in the Aston Martin. So 3 different brands. I'm surprised how well the BMWs are holding up at the moment, actually.
Yeah, it seems like once they're out on front, they can actually keep up that pace, but we have to see how they go throughout the race. It could drop. It could be the case that they drop on tires as well, so we have to watch out for that. But this uphill, it's beautiful, especially on board with Mirko Bortolotti. Gains a lot of time through there on the Mercedes, but just isn't quite able to overtake it because he doesn't have to drive out of the corner, it seems like. Look, that Mercedes just pulls away every time we get out of the corner.
Yeah, that Mercedes, I mean, we know it's a very powerful machine. So that's why it's also, yeah, we have seen it in qualifying, we have seen it in the last race, that it is just an unbelievably fast car. But I think it's the track. I think. The drivers, everybody just keeps making those small mistakes, which so they can't really catch up to the front. Let's see how it goes now. Mirko now is really close to spring up in front. Can he get on the power early? Now he's done, I think, a bit better. You can see now the Mercedes isn't pulling away now.
Just a little bit too short, but look out of this last corner.
Just a bit too short.
Look how quick this Mercedes is going to pull away now.
Look, Mirko takes the wide line, so he's focusing on the exit, but I don't think he's done too brilliantly there. I think he was trying to go all out on exit, but it doesn't seem to have worked out. But the BMW, I mean, we're talking a lot about the Mercedes, but the BMW is doing absolutely brilliantly. Ben Hitz at the top already increased the gap to Hager to 1 second, and Hager is in the seemingly unstoppable Mercedes.
Now Mirko Bortolotti has the chance to go past Jan
it's a difficult one.
He goes up
that
the inside,
will be a difficult one.
And he makes that move
but
stick.
He's done it.
Beautiful move. He took that when that chance came his way.
Yeah, he saw the opening and he just had to use it.
Here we're gonna go take a look back at it. I thought it would be a little bit further back, but takes that run beautifully, and well had that one done before they got to the exit of the corner. But look at that Mercedes, got the drive out of the corner, but just couldn't get past in time. Mirko Bortolotti now free to chase down Rambo ahead of him in P3.
And now Stadtmann, Vanna, where is Spring Up? Spring Up is in the pits, okay? So he's not out, he's just gone to the pits. Oh look, there's a bit of smoke happening on, Rambo with the mistake there, and he sees the opening, and there's just no space on the outside. If your opponent has got the inside there, you're pretty much out. We saw it with Spring Up, and we now have seen it with Jules.
Side by side, down the inside,
he's trying to get back.
Mirko Bortolotti
look,
focusing
Mirko
on that
again,
exit.
the wide line.
Giving him way too much room, I think. Not quite comfortable racing that close. But yeah, Hager now into the pits as well, so that moves these two guys up. It's a P2 and P3. Ben Hitz though in P1 at the moment, up 6 positions. But man, the pit stop cycle is now coming through. What a race this has been so far, and still 8 minutes left.
Unbelievable stuff. I think. Oh, look at how aggressive Rambo is taking those curbs on the chicane. We've got here Hager come out of the pits, is now behind Florian Becker.
It'll be vital that he be past him quickly, because he doesn't want to lose too much time to the battle at the front between Rambo and Bortolotti. And the longer he stays behind this number 47 Becker, the more time he's gonna lose to those two.
That might be the thing that cost him the lead in the last race. Maybe he was stuck behind a bit slower car and just couldn't make those outlaps count, as the others did, who had, of course, a bit more free space. That's the thing, the later that you can get into the pit lane, the smaller of a chance you have to get stuck behind another car, because most of them will have pitted already or are probably pitting the same lap as you. Oh, look how close it's coming into the pit at the pit exit. A lot of flashing going on there in the GT4s.
There we go, Mirko Bortolotti has made his pit stop, but he's come out behind Hager, so he had to get past and make that outlap count. And as you can see, 2.6 seconds is the gap, so he had some margin over Bortolotti. But remember, Bortolotti was ahead before Hager went into the pit lane, so he's going to have to do all of that again, catch up and try and overtake him once again. But yeah, well, those outlaps really did count. Juana now back into the lead, and he is the official leader because he pitted on lap 1.
He's pitted.
And I think the good thing for him to do was, because of course you can take as much fuel as you want now. 60% of the car you can fill it with fuel, so you can pit very early on, and he has done that. He has kept himself out of all the fighting ahead of him, and that has allowed him to pull away.
That is absolutely, I'm absolutely mesmerized by that tactic. It has worked out brilliantly. Jonas Vanna going up 17 positions.
7 seconds,
7
Kevin.
seconds ahead. Yeah, you just said it perfectly. He just gone in on lap 1, got out of all of the trouble, had a completely free track ahead of him, and now everybody's gone into the pits, and he's just taking the profits, and he's in the lead.
Yeah, Rambo also coming out ahead of Bortolotti. It seems like every time after that pit stop, that Aston drops down quite a lot of speed, because here he is, dropping down into the clutches of Springup now, and dropping time to Rambo, which he was half a second behind, and that gap now is up to about 2 seconds almost. So losing time after that pit stop is the Aston of Mirko Bortolotti. Looking back down at Martin Stadtmann, who's close behind in the Mercedes of the BMW of Klaus. Is he going to be able to make that weave stick? A 911 a number on a BMW. That's strange to see.
Well, the Porsches aren't 911s as well, so it might not be that bad actually. But yeah, of course, it's not one you get to see often in real life. Let's say it like that. We've got a nice three-way fight there for P8. Pieper, Klausch, and Stadtmann. And there he is, Thomas Pieper at the top. Now maybe Klausch is looking for the inside. Oh, he's just gone past.
Here,
that was easier than
really
expected.
Late. Maybe that is just my man Thomas Pieper letting him pass. Now going wide and allowing the Mercedes also through off Martin Stadtmann. And well, under pressure there, cracked into turn 1. And after that, his momentum was gone, has gone off track, and allowed the 105 of Martin Stadtmann pass as well.
Yeah, that has gone from bad to worse for Pieper there. Now Stadtmann, but he... Oh, looking for a late. That looked like a late dive there almost from Stadtmann, but kept it nicely under control. Just want to point out, look at the left side on the tower when it goes down to P positions. 20 to 30. 30. Almost everybody out.
Yeah.
Down from P23, so 7 drivers already had to leave their car in the pit lane. I think Hen is also out. So yeah, we have 8 drivers already out, which is not as much when you think about how big that first lap crash was actually.
No, but the fact that that crash was that big was because the one who crashed first was quite far up the field, and then after that it's just a harmonica effect, and they just all bunch up and crash into each other because they have no time to react. The further you get back into the field, the less time you have to react.
Yeah, that's where oh, there's a contact. But again, also those GT4 cars can take quite a bit of a beating.
He's gonna go right past the 2 of them.
Both of them turned around. So not only Klausch, but I think also, was it Stadtmann?
We're gonna take a look
who
back.
got
The
turned around as
911.
well. Just pushed him on into the first corner,
Oh,
and then
Stadtmann
there...
in the 153, I think that was. Oh, that is clumsy from the 911.
Yeah, I think he touched Tyler
Klaus.
Stadtmann there.
Yeah, Tyler Klaus is driving into the back of Stadtmann, I think. Back to live pictures we go. That was not good there from the BMW, but well, what can he do about it? It happened, and I think he just misjudged the speed at which that Mercedes was going through that corner. But that has now opened up the opportunity for Stadtmann.
Oh, it's Sambo! Who's gone off? Who's gone off? Who's gone off? Julian? Or it looked for me like he's gone off completely.
Yeah, it did. He was. Let's take a look at that.
Is the car damaged? Yeah, maybe we can look at it in a replay or something. Yeah, it's perfect. Has he gone off and just come back on? Yeah, he's gone off completely.
Wow.
But he's managed to keep it and has only lost the 1 position there. So not too bad of an outcome considering what could have happened.
What about this then for a battle? This is between Benjamin Moser and Florian Becker in the Porsche and the McLaren respectively. Benjamin Moser now down the inside. Is going to be able to make that one stick into turn 1. Yes, he is. Brakes later. and then just has that corner done into a P10 that is for Benjamin Moser. That's going to give us a good poise. Florian Becker will not be happy with that. Lost that position, I think, from the moment they accelerated out of the last corner. Did not get the drive he wanted.
Yeah, I think you don't get the drive, and you don't want to give up the insides on this track. I think the margin on the outside is so tiny that as soon as your opponent gets the inside, you're pretty much done for. So that's one you always got to keep an eye out of securing the inside line for the corner if you know that you might be overtaken. There is the white flag out, so we are on the final lap. And can we just take we will take a second anyways. Yeah,
we go,
to congratulate this man. What an absolute strategy. Comes from P18 up to P1 with a first lap pit stop, wins both races. Ben Hitz, he looked like the winner for most of the race until Vanna came along and just completely blew us out with a strategy. Robert Heger, great job also from him, coming in P4, also gained 14 places. Mirko Bortolotti in P3, sorry. Mirko Bortolotti in P4, gaining 12 places. But I am stunned. With what Jonas Vanna has done tonight. Oh, we've had contact in the final corner. That was Pieper and Becker, I'm not sure.
We can take a look at that. Here it happened. And taking a look then. Oh, 3 wide into the last corner on the inside the McLaren, and they're just going around.
Gone well.
Where's
just,
the rear wing
yeah,
of that?
It's just
But where's the rear wing of that Porsche?
already come off beforehand. Missing a bit of the downforce there. And then Florian Becker with the wide turn there. Just trying to get back on the tarmac. Losing a lot of positions there in the end.
Well then, what a race we've had. What an evening of racing we've had here with the W12 Sprint Series. The 4th season, the first races already proving to be, well, an amazing opener to Season 9 or Season 4 with 9 weeks in total. In the waiting room, I think, we have a couple of drivers now. And, well, no, we have no one in the waiting room, actually.
Yeah, they
No
probably all a bit...
Well,
no one interested.
For you then, Kevin, I think it's time to go through, and you're probably going to like this. The result from the last race this evening.
Well, yeah. Let's just go through them. We've got all the time now. That was the last race, of course, of the evening. I can't say it enough. I'm absolutely thrilled by what Jonas Vanna has done here in the final race. He's won it. He's won it from P18 on the grid on a track like Knockhill, where there shouldn't be any places to overtake, but he's taken that into account, and he's just done it on strategy. He's just done it on strategy. Unbelievable stuff there by Jonas Vanna.
Yeah.
Ben Hitz in the BMW in position 2, 10 seconds already behind Vanna. But great race from him. He's really made the most of that reverse grid. He's one of the drivers who hasn't gained as many positions, I'd say. Ben Hitz only gaining 5, let's say like that, gaining 5 positions there in the end. So he's done a great job in this reverse grid race. Robert Heger in P3, gaining 14 positions. So also going very far up the field for him. And I've got some interesting news there. It seems like our race winner is under investigation.
For what?
This has all of the makings of a thrilling race. They are not allowed to pit before the start, and it seems like Vanna has come in before the race even started.
I saw him do that.
And
he
and that is not allowed.
he pulled into the pit lane. I was wondering why is the car off into the pit or into the pit entry, and he pulled off into the pit entry before they even started. What a well.
Oh, okay. Well,
a-
it said for me lap 1 he pitted,
Yeah,
so I
yeah, for me
thought
as
he
well.
did it on normally.
But that is
So-
technically lap 1. But what a 1 million IQ move that then is to try and keep
Well,
out
it's
of
not,
everyone's
well,
way.
but because
not
he's not
allowed-
allowed to do that,
Well, if it's not allowed,
Um,
that then makes that
that
a
might
whole lot
cost
different.
him the race win. So, like every good F1 race, we will have to leave you. I don't think the decision will be made that quickly, I guess. We will have to leave you with how that one goes out.
Yeah, I've just got it as well, Juan, on the investigation. I don't know if the man himself wants to come for a little interview. The famous man himself. The man
Well,
who's
he's
behind all
gonna-
of this.
Well, he's gonna probably be in a chat with race control now, more or less, trying to defend his case. I think,
Gonna
but
put him
we
up
will
to the
see.
podium then. Because what I reckon they're going to do, they're going to disqualify him, I think, from this race.
Well, probably. I mean, it is a pretty clear-cut case normally. If you're not allowed to do that, then he's gonna need to get punished, and that victory. So will
English
probably not
difficult.
stand. In English is difficult. So many languages. So let's say Ben Hitz has then won this one. It seems like it at the moment, at least. Let's just go down the way the results are right now, because I can't think as quickly to change the number again. I'm trying at least. So yeah, you can see all of the drivers, all of the finishers and non-finishers. We've had quite a couple of those. So what I'm seeing, P20 is already 3 laps behind. So I'm guessing Stadtmann also didn't finish the race. So 10 drivers, not seeing the checkered flag there at the end of this chaotic reverse grid race here here at Knockhill. But it has had some good moments, some really exciting moments, I'd say. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it has all the ingredients of an amazing race. Investigations after the race, a surprise winner, just contact, which is not something we usually want to see, but it makes the race a lot more spectacular. Of course, don't get us wrong, we don't root for that, but well,
No, of course not.
it wasn't any
But it
intentional
happens.
contact, but it happens.
No,
It's-
of course
it's-
not.
It's part of racing. Then we do have an interview. I don't know who exactly this is, because he doesn't have his real name in the Discord. But tell us,
Well,
mystery
I'm
man,
guess-
who are you?
This is Robert Hager.
Well, Robert Hager, welcome. If I'm correct, and I'm gonna go back to the top of the results. If it is the case that Jonas Varna gets disqualified in the last race, you're gonna then inherit P2.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna say anything about that for sure.
Well, go on.
Yeah, it was a crazy race. I mean, starting from, I don't know, feeling like P30 and then, yeah, not crashing in the first corner. I don't know how I did it, but yeah, I survived. And yeah, in the end it was P3 or P2. I'm really happy.
Yeah, well, tell us, how was it? Of course, I don't know where you started. I can actually look at it. You gained
It was
14 positions, so that means that you started from P17. How
P17,
was
yes.
it coming into the first corner and seeing them, all of you, just skate off the track and Moses opening the sea for you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't think I would make the corner. I was just like, yeah, just try to avoid it, and it worked. And yeah, after like 2 or 3 laps, then I realized it's P2, and yeah, we were fighting for P1, and I had a big problem because my calculator for fuel didn't work.
Oh, no.
So while driving, I had to guess like, oh, it's gonna be something like that, and yeah, I had like 2 laps left, so it worked out.
Yeah. Well, Kevin,
Was
you have
that
any questions to ask?
also what happened in the first race? I think it
Yeah,
seemed like you had a bit of a slower pit stop than everybody
yeah,
else and cost you a bit.
yeah. That happened to me in the first race as well. But
Yeah.
I just tried to be sure, you know, because I would have been really angry if, yeah, I ran out of fuel, and I just wanted a good position.
Yeah, of course. That's always the better option, I'd say, to fuel a bit more than a bit
For sure, yeah, yeah. But next
not
time,
enough.
I hope the program works, and then I want to avoid this mistake.
Well, you were not the only one with technical issues, let me tell you, because the
Definitely not.
stream had some as well. OBS not working, our live timing program not working, all kinds of issues. But yeah, it was an evening of technical issues, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if I would have known that before, my TCR race was over quite early in the first lap. I could have prepared, but I thought it was working. So, yeah, but I'm not gonna complain. Everything is good.
Yeah, still two great two second places. So next time a win on the cards, I guess.
For sure, I'm gonna try it.
Well, that's great to hear. Then, Robert, thank you very much for coming in. I hope
Thank
it
you,
was
guys.
also fun for you, and I hope we hear each other next week when
Me
it
too.
goes. Yeah,
Can't wait for the
perfect.
next event. See you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Bye. Well then, we are gonna move on to a man who, in the last race, well, just to put it shortly, did very well. Was the second McLaren and finished P10 overall. Benjamin Moser, welcome.
Hi, what a race.
Yeah, well, tell us, how was it for you? Of course, you gained one position overall in that race, started from P11. How was it coming to turn one?
Well, I started the race, had a good start and gained some meters to the cars in front. And then um, the car number 33 just, I thought, what the fuck is he doing?
Language.
Like he was braking like 150 meters in front of us, but it worked out. I was really surprised that it worked out. And the rest of the lap was avoid carnage. Then I spun myself over the chicane, turn 3, turn 4. Yeah, and from there on it was full push and try to gain some points.
Yeah. Well, Kevin, I'll
But I mean,
go on.
what I'm really interested in is you were one of only 3 McLarens on the grid, which is my favorite car.
We all know.
How was it? How was it at Knockhill? Was it a good car to drive, or did you regret your decision?
No, I don't regret my decision. My team colleagues drove mostly the Porsche and the BMW, and were complaining all the time about the speed and when we were racing. For the last corner, I mean, I had a good line for the last corner, but if I were 2/10 of a second behind their back, I could always overtake them into turn 1. So top speed advantage was definitely today on McLaren. So hopefully it won't be too bad, the POP for next race.
Yeah, I think you've come away with that. The McLaren shouldn't have any penalties from what I remember. It will only be Mercedes, BMW, and Aston's that will get the penalty weight. So the McLaren next time round could be a good shot when everybody else gets a bit heavier.
Definitely. There's only a few tracks that I've driven recently where the McLaren has some difficulties with their transmission because it's too short for some gears, for some corners. So I hope that the McLaren will still be the best choice for most of the races we have over the season.
Yeah, it will definitely be a good choice. Well then, Benjamin, thank you very much for letting us know how your race went on. Great job today. You've done well. And yeah, let's hope to see you next week.
yeah, hope to see you next week too. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Well then, Kevin, I think it's time for us to, bring in the one and only, the much spoken about in that last race, Jonas Vana. Jonas, welcome.
Hello, hello.
Jonas, tell us, you came up with a 1 million IQ strategy, but it sadly wasn't allowed in the end, I think.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't know it. So I thought like, okay, I go into the pits. In the end, it was probably the best strategy I've ever pulled. But then Mirko told me, yeah, it's not allowed, and I was like, okay, unlucky then.
Well,
It
you
was
amazed
a
us.
brilliant strategy.
You
Yeah,
came out of
thanks.
the pit lane, and we were like, 7 seconds. How has he done this then? But yeah, now it makes sense.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, but anyways, I mean, the first 2 races this evening was, yeah, I don't know, crashed 2 times, so this event was not so good.
Yeah, I mean, in the first race of the second server, you did pretty well, I'd say. You won the race there as well. What happened there in, like, let's say the middle, when you were just seemingly dropping places almost every lap? What happened there? You just weren't in the groove, or what was going wrong there?
I tried to save so much fuel that I could go like without a pit stop, but then I realized it wasn't gonna work. So I was like, okay, I need to not lose the leaders, not lose Mirko, and then start driving a bit faster. In the end, I think I saved a lot of fuel that I could undercut the others. So it was in the end also a very good strategy. But in the middle, yeah, I tried it, but it didn't work.
Yeah, well, you definitely had the best pace of them all, I think, today. You showed it very well. Also in qualifying, 3 tenths from P2, unbelievable on a short track like this. So yeah, I was pretty impressed. I'm sorry that your strategy didn't work out in the end as well as you hoped, or for technical reasons. I still cheered you on. I thought it was brilliant, but yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, it is what it
That's
is.
how
But
it goes. It is what it is. Yeah.
from my personal, it was an awesome strategy.
Yeah, I'm with you. I liked it as well. So I thought it was brilliant.
Well then,
Well then, Jonas, thank you very much. I hope still great performance. I think even not considering the illegal strategy, I think it was still a great drive. I mean, in the end, 9.5 seconds away from P2. So it still shows that you were very fast today, and you did great. So let's hope to see similar things next week.
Yeah, I hope as well. I mean, I hope that the track combo for the first race is a bit better. The track car combo. I don't like the TCR, to be honest. But yeah, let's see.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks as well.
well then, Kevin, I think it's time for us then to move on once again to a man who won both sessions in the silver class. Julian, welcome.
Hello.
Julian, first of all, to settle this argument once and forever, how do we pronounce your last name?
Rambo.
Okay, so Kevin, you've won
All
there. Kevin has won there.
1-0. 1-0.
So, Julian, tell us about your races. The last race, you finished, if I quickly look, in P6. That could be P5. I think it will be because they will disqualify Jonas Vana for that 1 million IQ strategy he pulled off. So P5 for you in the end there. For you, you gained, let me quickly take a look. You gained 8 positions in total, which means you started P14. How was it for you getting into turn 1?
On turn one, I see at my right, I have 3 cars. So for me, it's impossible to turn on this curve. Donc I decided to continue on the straight line on the green, and I think it's a good decision on the start.
Yeah, you did well. I mean, the end result shows very nicely. P1 in the silver class, so already a great start there for the championship. You were driving today the BMW, not a car me and Dan had really thought of one of the faster cars, but how was it for you? How did the BMW work in the race today?
I drive out this class on iRacing, but I see the stream and apparently the GT car, the GT4 class, the bop is good. Donc so I test all the GT4, and for me the sound of this car, BMW, is better for me. Donc I choose this car.
Well, that's a brilliant reason to pick one car over the other. Can we find out the silver drivers? So you as well. You guys have 3 car choices per class. What are the other 2 cars you've chosen? So what might we see from you in the next GT4 race?
Oh,
You know it off the top of your head.
yeah, BMW and oh, I don't know. So the car, sorry.
Okay, well then
No,
we'll
BMW and Aston, maybe.
Aston. Okay,
Aston,
all right,
maybe.
all right.
And GT3, I choose BMW and Lamborghini.
Okay, so in both classes, the BMW always a good car. I think.
Yeah, sure.
Dan,
No, but
you've got
it's
any?
very good.
No, that was it, I
Very
think.
good, guys. This tonight.
All right. Well then, thank you very much for joining us,
Thank you.
and we hope to see you again next week in the next
with-
races.
Yes, with pleasure. And for, I want a track that I like because this evening, 2 track is very new track for me. Donc, so
Oh,
Yeah.
I
well,
wait next week.
Gonna hope for a better track next week. Julian, thank you for your time.
Thank
and
you.
Good
Thank
luck
you.
out there next week.
Thank you.
Well then, like I always say, we move on then to a man who was happy to be in here a second ago, but realized he was in the wrong chat, so moved out again. Mirko, welcome.
Hey guys.
And Mirko, well, the second session for you looked a bit more difficult, but the first session in the TCR was well, quite easy for you once again, or it looked like it was around the park once again.
Yeah, TCR was really good. I mean, Tom Pieber, he put out a really outstanding lap, so he did a great job in qualifying. So yeah, at the end, P2 was a good result, but I think coming from practice where we were really strong, I thought, yeah, I could have a shot at pole, but yeah, he had a mega lap. And I must say that the TCRs on lap 1 were really, really tricky to drive. But yeah, in the race, I had a better start than him off the line, and from there, I kind of controlled the race, so it was really good. And in the second server with the GT4s, I think, yeah, I was struggling a bit with the Aston at the beginning. I decided to take that car. I think the Mercedes would have been the better pick for that track. But yeah, it's good to have all kind of cars in the top 5, top 6. So I think it was the right call for the show to take the Aston.
Yeah. Well, you came, of course, into turn 1. You started. If I quickly take a look, do you yourself know where you started? If I take a look, you came 12th. You started in P16, and you came into turn 1. Tell us, how did you get through there?
I have no idea, to be honest. I really managed to stay out of trouble. I got 0 contact. Everything, all kind of things were happening ahead of me. And I managed to just survive and get through without damaging my car. And a few other guys managed to do the same. I think Robert Hega as well had a similar start to mine, and also Julian. Yeah, so at the end,
that was important to keep the car in one piece and survive the first lap. And then I think it was a good race in the end, but the pace in the second server in GT4 was not amazing. Let's say it that way. And with the new rules, we have to all stick with the car. So if the GT4 will be picked again next week, I will have to keep driving the Aston. Obviously, we will have a slight advantage compared to the Mercedes because they will have more weight, but they were also extremely strong. So I think it's going to be balanced even more.
Well, Milko, that was all for me. Kevin, over to you.
Well, one thing I want to know, you made it look sometimes easier, I think, than it was, but how was overtaking on this very narrow and very narrow circuit?
There was actually much more overtaking opportunities than what I expected, because I thought it's gonna be a train and it's gonna be impossible to overtake. I mean, obviously last corner is a good overtaking spot, or let's say a chance to gain a place. But the problem is everything you gain on the entry, you lose on the exit. So the positioning is really important. And yeah, we had situations in the race where we did the first two sectors side by side, giving each other the racing room and being really fair to each other. So I think it was much better than expected. And I hope we continue like this and we keep racing like that. On the main race, I slightly underfueled, so it put me in a position where I had to save fuel in the last 2 laps, and I crossed the line with 0.1 liters of fuel in the tank, so it was really, really tight. But I had to take some risks trying to beat the Mercedes, and in the end it didn't work out, but P3 was a great result.
Yeah, we were a bit wondering what was going on there, but of course that is of course a good explanation. Fuel always strategies today a big topic in especially the reverse grid race. We have talked about with Jonas that with Jonas already. So yeah, great to see also those different strategies coming out in the races, also in the TCR race already, early pit stops and whatnot.
Yeah, fully
Well,
agree. I mean, it's
yeah.
an extra element that really is spicing things up, and it's good to have that.
Yeah, it was great to watch. Well, Mirko, in that case, okay.
That's actually a question for you guys. I mean, I really listen to the feedback we get, and this thing. I mean, you can say I'm the man behind it, but it's something that we created all together. So I try to put my ideas on the table, such as the others do as well, and then in the end, that's what comes out. So I think I hope we made a step forward, and the people like it. And what do you guys think about it?
Well, the racing was great. I don't think there's anything that can be said about that. I think both servers had some brilliant stuff in it. I especially liked the second server. The main race in the second server was absolutely thrilling. Brilliant moves up and down the field, and you can really see the respect that the drivers each other are gaining for each other over the across those 4 seasons, because I remember in the first season of W12 it wasn't like this. People were much more aggressive, I think, and today of course we've had mistakes, but I don't think anything stupid, anything out of the ordinary. Everything was really good, and of course again mistakes happen, but those are then just mistakes and not someone being a bit too over aggressive or anything. So I think the driving standards are brilliant, and the racing is therefore. We still got 2 people down there who want to talk to us. So
Perfect, guys. See you soon. Thank you very much.
thank you very much. Well, not only P2, but in the end, it's probably going to be P1. So the winner of our reverse grid race, actually. Yeah, yeah, maybe. No, I'm just saying. Yes. All right, Ben. It's your time. So, how was
Yeah.
it for you? How was the race for you?
Good evening, first of all. Yeah, it was quite good for me, I think. I started P7, I think, or something like that. Had a good start, avoided everyone at turn 1, and then just drove away. I had Robert behind me. He pushed a little bit more than myself, and I had the chance to drive away. So Johnny was on other strategy and deserved the victory. But when he is on an investigation, I think it's okay for me when I get P1. I saw nothing. The cars in front of me, I think they drove into turn 1 in a 4 wide, and 2 cars spun right in front of me towards the right side of the track, and I just hoped that I don't collect, that nobody collects me, and luckily that happened not. So yeah, was quite lucky for myself.
You also picked the BMW. How was the fighting with the Mercedes? Because the Mercedes seemed like the fastest car you could have chosen today.
Yeah,
So how was the fight?
I think I chose the wrong car today. My second car was a Merc, but I gambled a little bit, and yeah, it doesn't work out. I think the Mercedes was 2 or 3 tenths quicker a lap, but yeah, okay. I think it was okay for me. So yeah.
All right. Well then, Ben, no matter what position it is in the end, P1 or P2, still a great race, still a podium finish. So congratulations for that. So if you maybe, how was the combination? Did you like GT4's Knockhill, or would you like to see something else? What would be your preferred race formation for the second server?
Yeah, for me it was the first time driving Knockhill and Canadian Tire today. So it was quite interesting for me. I had no practice at all. Just try to get as many laps I could have done in practice. And yeah, I would have preferred Spielberg, but yeah, it was fun with the GT4 cars.
Well, it might still come. You never know what the draw. Yeah. We never know what the draw brings. Ben, thank you very much for your time, and we hope to see you again next week.
Yeah, thank you and see you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Well then, Kevin, I think that is it for us. No more drivers waiting in the waiting room. And
now we've got them all.
Just give me 3 words to sum this up. This evening.
Oh my God.
I think that's one word.
Come on. I think I'm gonna kind of disagree. Okay. Let's say exciting, problematic, and fun in the end.
Well,
so exciting, of course, the on-track action. Problematic, our problems and a lot of technical problems. It's really today. I don't know what's going on today. That everybody has had technical problems, freezing
These are more than 3 votes,
monitors. Yeah, freezing monitors, failing fuel, and our problems, which were of course there for everybody to see and fun. Yeah, always great fun. The W12. And now what are your 3 words?
Well, this wasn't supposed to happen. No. My words, great racing, and then take in as a middle word in general.
Yeah.
So I take it by that. Well then, guys, it's time, I think, after that, to leave it at this for us. The results are up on screen for you. I'm once again going to go down to the guys at the bottom of the grid to see where your favorite driver is. And yeah, we'll take a look at that. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed it. We here at the W12 series and in the Comment to Break with Kevin are going to say a big thank you for watching. And we're going to see you out there next week on Monday. Until then.